Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Yoga for Skaters. My name is Ace, your friend in yoga and off skates training, and today is our posture flow for headstand. So, if you didn't catch our posture focus, where we honed in on some technique for shoulder mobilization for headstand, you can go ahead and check that out. Or if you're ready to flow, we'll review a lot of those shoulder mobility movements that we did, and we will also drill our headstand through this flow. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start our practice today in child's pose. You don't need any props unless there's something you always like to have. So go ahead, make your way to your child's pose. So you can bring the big toes together. You can take the knees wide and just start with those arms overhead. Perfect. We'll start with some deep breaths here. Inhale. And a full exhale. Yeah, and as you start to drop into your breath, start to bring your attention to the inhales and the exhales, can you also just take a moment to remind yourself of why you're here on your mat? And if you're feeling a little lost for a reason to be on your mat today or a reason to practice headstand as a roller skater, know that shifting your perspective can be really important, right? In our stuck moments, in our frustrated moments, if we can find another way to look at things, we might be able to create some freedom in our own lives, in our own minds. So if you're looking for an intention, perhaps a perspective shift, as we will see literally when we get upside down, maybe that's something that you bring to focus. Good. Take one more full inhale here. And then let's go ahead and walk those arms over to the right. And stack your left hand on top of your right hand and thread those fingers. Let the head drop in between the biceps. And then from here, can you start to press down through the fingertips? Push the floor away. Let that left hip point sink back. Inhale through the left side body. Exhale, soften and release it. Walk your way back through center and then all the way over to the left side for the same thing. So right hand stacks on top of the left. Those fingers thread. Head drops in between the biceps. Press into the pads of the fingers. Press down. Push the floor away. And feel yourself make space along the right side of the body. Full inhale here. And as you exhale, soften, release, and walk your way back through center. Perfect. And then back at this center child's pose, go ahead and bring the palms together, pads of the fingers together. And then bending at the elbows, start to bring the thumbs towards the base of the neck. And then as it feels okay in your body, maybe you just walk the elbows forward towards the front edge of your mat ever so slightly. So using that space we found in the side body, but starting to hint at this headstand, shoulder, and arm position with this nice tricep stretch. Good. And then as you're ready, gently releasing the hands back onto your mat. Inhale, shift forward into your tabletop position. Good. And from this tabletop position, you've got those shoulders over the wrists, knees under the hips. And let's take a few rounds of our scapular push-ups here. So go ahead, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you retract, melting the heart in between the thumbs, and then pushing the floor away. Spread the shoulder blades, protract them so that you broaden across that upper back. Nice. And then retracting once again. Good. And so moving through these two actions, as you do so, just bringing a little bit of awareness to that core, making sure we're keeping the spine organized and neutral by keeping the lower abdominals toned, ribs drawing together and down. Good. Maybe one more time through that retraction. And then coming into protraction, hold on to this protraction. Go ahead and walk the hands about a hand's distance in front. Tuck the toes. Core is engaged. Lift the hips up and back. downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a full inhale here in down dog. And a full exhale. If you like to pedal out the feet or anything like that, that is your choice here today. And then on your next inhale, shift forward to high plank position. Perfect. Inhale in your high plank. And as you exhale, come on down to forearm plank. Perfect. From this forearm plank, go ahead and interlace your fingers like you would for your headstand. So if you want to stack those pinkies so the outer borders of the hands are flush. And then from here, go ahead and just walk the toes a little bit back so that those shoulders are behind the elbows. Good. And then can you walk those feet a little bit forward so that we bring the shoulders towards the wrists? Nice. And then a few times, walking back, core is strong, pulling forward. Nice. Let's go one more time here. Walking it back, core is strong, glutes are engaged, walking it forward. Good. And then come to your shoulders right over those elbows. Go ahead and bend the knees. Lower the thighs, the hips. Release those hands. Inhale. Reach the heart forward and up for your Sphinx pose. Nice. And as you exhale, come on down. Perfect. And then reaching those arms overhead. Take the arms as wide as you need to. We're going to inhale, lift up for locust. Perfect. And exhale, come on down. Hands slide under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Lift those hips up and back. And we're right back to downward facing dog. Pressing the floor away. Inhale, look in between the hands. And as you exhale, tiptoe your way all the way up to the top of your mat for an easy forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Straight legs. Nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, take a look up. And as you exhale, palms together at your heart. So let's get right into our lunge salutations, where we'll visit some of our upper back openers, shoulder strengtheners. Starting with the inhale, go ahead and reach up, look up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down. Keep the left foot in front. We'll step that right leg back. On your inhale, rise up for your high lunge. Yes. And as you exhale, hands come down, high plank position. Inhale in high plank. And our transition today coming into forearm plank. You inhale in that forearm plank. As you exhale, you can lower the knees, the thighs, the hips. Inhale, reach the heart forward for Sphinx. Exhale all the way down, setting up for that locust with the arms overhead. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, come on down, all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot steps in between the hands. Inhale, rise up for that high lunge on the right side. So on this side, bring the pads of the fingers together. Press them together. And then bending at the elbows. Elbows aim forward. Take a moment in this headstand arm position, pretending the ceiling is the floor as you reach towards it. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. Step up to forward fold. Very nice. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Take a look up. Exhale, here we go, reversing this cycle, forward folding. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down. Left foot steps back. One inhale to rise up for high lunge. Exhale, hands come down, step back to high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, down to Sphinx. Inhale, lifting the heart for Sphinx. Exhale, lowering, finding that transition, arms overhead. On the inhale, lifting for Locust. Exhale, come on down, downward facing dog. Nice. Next inhale, left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot steps in between the hands. Inhale, rise up for that high lunge. And then fingertips together, hinge the elbows, shining them straight ahead. A moment to activate here. Inhale. And exhale, unwind. Hands down, step up to forward fold. Very nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, take a look up. And exhale, palms together at your heart. So adding on from here. Inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down. Left foot in front, right leg steps back. One inhale to rise up for your high lunge. Exhale, come on down, high plank position. So you know our transition, exhaling to forearm plank. Inhaling here. Exhaling, transitioning to find that Sphinx. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to transition to Locust. Rising up on the inhale. Exhale all the way up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale here in down dog. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Rise up to your high lunge. And then we're going to open up into Warrior Two. Perfect. So from your Warrior Two position here, go ahead and bring that right arm across the chest. That left arm's going to come forward. You're going to hook the right forearm into the crook of that left elbow, right? So from here, go ahead and bend that left elbow, and then can you press that right forearm into the left forearm? So a little bit of traction, feeling this through the outer border here, the scapula. Take one more inhale with this active, and then as you exhale, just sink into the stretch a little bit. Nice. One more inhale here. Good. And then releasing those arms nice and long. We'll take that overhead arm position after a little more protraction of the right shoulder. So left hand can come behind the back to that right hip. And then reaching the right arm up, overhead, maybe looking at those fingertips. Good. Take an inhale here. And exhale, cartwheel those arms down. We're just stepping right up to forward fold. I'm just going to spin around here. Good. From your forward fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, reach up, take a look up. Exhale, here we go to reverse it, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down. Right foot stays in front. That left leg steps back. Inhale, rise up for your high lunge. Exhale, hands come down. Step back to high plank. Here's our transition. Exhale, lower to forearm plank. Inhale, in forearm plank. Exhale, transitioning to Sphinx so that you can inhale into that little back bend. And then exhale, finding that transition to lift up for Locust. On the inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, making our way up and back to downward facing dog. Inhaling in down dog. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Inhale, rise up for that high lunge. And then opening up into your Warrior Two. Perfect. So we'll do the same thing on this side. Bringing the left arm across the body into the crook of that right elbow. And then you find your range of motion, right? So a little bit of stretch here. And then start to press the left forearm out into the right forearm, as if this shoulder head was coming forward away from that back. Good. We take a moment with this engagement. Inhale. And then on an exhale, maybe feeling through the stretch. And then releasing those arms nice and wide. From here, bring the right hand behind, maybe into that left hip crease or just at the low back. Flip the left palm, we'll reverse the warrior. Arm is overhead. We're creating a lot of space back through those shoulder blades so that all of these actions can become a little more spacious, right? A little more accessible. Go ahead and release from there. Cartwheel the arms down. Step up to your forward fold. Very nice. From your forward fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale. Go ahead and reach up. Take a look up. And exhale, palms together at your heart. So moving into some more balanced challenges with those shoulders. Starting as you inhale, reach up and look up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down. So plant those hands. Step back to your high plank position. And just like we've done before, come on down to your forearm plank. Good. From that forearm plank, pivot on the right elbow so that right forearm is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Go ahead and roll over into a side plank from here. So you can be heel to toe, you can stack the feet, you can, whatever variation of this forearm side plank you want to take. And then from here, think about that space in the right shoulder blade. Can you push the floor away with that right forearm, making space from the ear to the shoulder, feeling strong through this left side body. One more inhale. And then if you'd like, reach overhead with that left arm and maybe even more push through the right forearm. Good. One more inhale. And as you exhale, make your way through center. And we'll set this up on the second side. So pivoting with the left elbow, left forearm parallel to the front edge of your mat, coming into whatever side forearm plank feels good for you. We start with that arm just reaching straight up. Push the floor away. So from right below the elbow all the way to the fingertips, engaging, pushing the floor away, making space. And then, if it feels good, spiraling that pinky forward, around, and back, overhead, maybe even more push. One more inhale. And then exhaling, rounding your way back through center. Good. Inhale in forearm plank. Exhale, lower knees, thighs, then hips. Inhale, reach the heart up for that Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up, locust with those arms overhead. And exhale all the way down. Hands under the shoulders, all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. Full inhale and down dog. Full exhale. Nice. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, just bend the knees. Sink back into child's pose. Wrap the arms along the shins here. Let the forehead rest and just let the shoulders kind of round and release. Brief moment. And then we're getting into our headstand reps here. Perfect. As you're ready, go ahead and slowly make your way up. Nice. All right, so here we go. We're going to do headstand And we're going to work for like a 30-second hold. You're welcome if you're working your way up with headstand with different time interval holds. You're welcome to do that. I'm not going to promise it's going to be exactly 30 seconds, but we're going to work for a hold, and then we'll work for a little bit of a longer hold on our second round, okay? So revisiting our technique, interlacing the fingers, stacking the pinkies, starting by cradling the base of the skull in those hands with those forearms or those elbows about shoulder width. So I'm going to let the head rest here. I'm going to tuck the toes and lift up. So if this feels like enough to just push the floor away with the forearms with the feet on the ground, by all means work this variation. Otherwise, start to walk the toes towards your nose. And then however you'd like to get up, maybe one leg and then the other. And really, my friends, just know that as you push down through the floor, you're leveraging and you'll be able to find that deep core line to be able to move around it, to be able to lift the legs, lift the hips. And if it feels impossible now, I promise you, what you practice grows stronger, and this video will live for all eternity just for you. Take one more breath wherever you are. Slowly finding your way down. Whatever that looks like, we're going to take a moment in our child's pose, relaxing the head and the neck, and just letting the nervous system settle after being upside down. And one thing I really love about inversions, and one thing that I really find them especially helpful for with skating, right, is you have to slow down. You have to slow down. You got to think about what you're doing as you're coming into the inversion. You know, you've got to have a focus. If your mind is everywhere, your body's everywhere, and the pose just doesn't happen. And so with our skating, whether it's derby, whether it's dance, whether it's park skating, right, we're using our whole body, and we have to focus, right? We need to make that connection, and then we can start to throw these big tricks or throw these big hits. But the more we focus, right, in a specific moment, we build that muscle memory and we build that mind memory to be able to access these poses, or to even know what to access mentally to be able to access the poses, if that makes sense. All right, let's do one more here together. Setting yourself up, interlace the fingers, tuck the head, good, cradle the base of the skull, and then you're on your way up, however you'd like to get up. But remembering our focus as we build our handstand practice, our focus for today is the shoulders. So push the forearms into the floor. The head should just be hovering, like hovering over the floor. There's not a lot of pressure in the forehead, not a lot of pressure in the neck. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. One more inhale. And then take your time coming out with control if you can. And maybe control's just something you're working on, right? Just coming up with control, lowering down with control. Take your moment in your child's pose. Deepen your breath. And then just give yourself some credit. Like if you're on your mat, if you're doing this class, if you're trying something new, or if you're revisiting this and trying to find a little something for yourself to push this pose a little further, you've got a lot to be proud of. So give yourself a little bit of gratitude there. And then take your time. We're going to go ahead and make our way up. Beautiful. And so for our counter pose for headstand, we're going to come into this reverse plank. So go ahead and swing the legs out in front of you. And so for your reverse plank, you can keep the knees bent, heels down, fingertips toward your hips, and press up. Or you can take that long reverse plank, heels down, push. Good. So we push through the hands, lift the heart. Good. So our chest does a lot of work in that headstand. Nice. And if you'd like to here, you can drop the head back. One more inhale, push those hips to the sky. And as you exhale, gently come down. Good. Nice. All right. And then from here, go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position. We're going to round out our practice here today with some neck release. We're going to start with what are called neck articulations. So you can cross the ankles, have a seat on the heels, whatever feels good for you. And then just relax the hands. So we'll start here by bringing the chin to the chest. And then you'll rock your right ear to your right shoulder. Then go ahead and turn your gaze so that you're looking to the right. And then take your gaze up across the ceiling, all the way so that you're looking to the left. And then a little pivot to bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And then dropping that chin to the chest. So full circle there. Let's go the other way. Go ahead and bring the left ear to the left shoulder. You're going to look to the left. You'll take that gaze up across the ceiling all the way so that you're looking to the right. And then go ahead and bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Bring the chin to the chest. Good. And then lifting your gaze. Perfect. So from here, relax your left hand by your side. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Go ahead and use the right hand to gently guide the right ear towards that right shoulder, and then pressing the left palm as if it would stamp your mat. And then bringing that palm away from the side body as much as feels okay for you. And then as you're ready, you can start to find some little circles through the palm, a little nerve glide here. And then maybe a few circles in the other direction. Yeah. Take one more breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, soften that side. Use the right hand to press the head back to center. You just gave that a release, so give yourself some support. And then right arm along the right side. Go ahead and bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Left hand gently guides it a little further. And then palm towards the floor. Lengthening that arm away from the side body. And then working in some of those little circles as it feels good in your body. So sensation, yes, good. Pain, especially sharp pain, is what we want to avoid. So if anything gives you that feeling, go ahead and ease off. Get back into the opening and sensational realm. Good. And then go ahead and relax that right arm. Use the hand to gently lift the head back to center. Nice. And then from here, you can go ahead and extend the legs straight out in front of you. Good. Fingertips towards your toes. We'll roll back nice and slow as we come into our final resting pose from here. So go ahead and relax the arms along the side body. You can let the legs have a little bit of space. And then maybe rocking the head to the right, to the left. And allowing that rocking to happen for as long as feels good in your body. And then slowly just letting yourself drop into stillness. If you noticed any judgments or anything like that having to do with your headstand or like performance, see if you can let that go here, reminding yourself that this is your practice And if you were good at it, you wouldn't need to practice. And it's this process, right? Connecting to the body, noticing our perspective, moving through these asanas, and then taking this time here to notice any shifts in perspective. Taking note of the quality of the mind now versus when you started, or maybe now versus when you did your last headstand. So a few more moments just for you to relax and release. And then as you're ready, go ahead and take a deep inhale. As you exhale, you can begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles. Take your time. And then as you're ready, go ahead and draw the knees to your chest and roll over to whichever side feels safe and comfortable for you. Coming into a supported position, taking a moment to thank yourself for making it to your mat here today. Taking another moment to extend that gratitude to one another, knowing that our whole community is supporting you, we're supporting each other, and that's something to be grateful for. And then take your time. As you're ready, you can press your way up. We'll come into a final seated position. Again, crossing the ankles or seated on the heels. And if you'd like to bring the palms together at your heart, you can do that. Maybe a little bow of the head. Recalling your intention from the beginning of class. And making a connection between your intention and your practice here today. Keep this connection close as you move off the mat and into the world. The light and the teacher in me sees the light and the teacher in all of you. Shanti, peace. Namaste. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for today's posture flow. Again, really specific focus on that mobility of the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and then bringing that into our posture, which is headstand. All right. Thank you so much. I will look forward to seeing you next time.